Well, hi, and welcome back to another Harry's Hobbies video. And I'm still working on the Mud Creek models, Wayman's shipping uh, dockside building. And today I'm going to show you how I go about doing this. And that's putting the shingles on. And you can see here, I've actually got one little spot that looks like it's in need of some patchwork or something like that. So I'm going to go for a distress look on this particular build. So on this side, you can see I've got some black tar paper already on board, and I'm going to be adding the shingles to this. And this is a relatively simple process, and takes just standard Elmer's glue. And it doesn't matter; it doesn't have to be Elmer's glue. You can use the off brands, from the 99-cent store or from wherever, and you'll achieve the same effect because it's essentially the same glue. So what I do is I run a little bead of the Elmer's glue right along the edge, and then I take my shingles, which is this part, that come on a nice big sheet, and I make sure that that gets quite a bit of Elmer's glue on the backside, and then you want to hang it over a little bit along the bottom edge, and you take your finger and spread that glue out all over the top of it. And then I'm going to be doing the same just above, and we'll line these up so they're kind of staggered on top of one another. To give it just a little bit of an offset appearance. And if you feel like it's a little too dry, don't hesitate to just put a couple little drops of glue on there so that your finger can spread this out a little easier. And then follow along, because I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of these on board all the way to the top. And then I'll be back to go over how I go about turning this into a top piece, a crown piece. So stand by for that. That's coming up. Okay, so now that I've added the shingles with the Elmer's glue, this will set up and dry, and will dry clear so you can get through and see the color. That's going to be the final color of the uh, roof itself. So for a crown piece, I take the scrap piece left over from the shingle strips, and this is pretty easy to do. I just cut off one of the edge pieces, just simply cut off one of the edge pieces like so, and then I'm going to fold it so that it's got a nice bend kind of in the middle. You don't have to be deadly accurate with the fold, because you're going to be covering it up with glue and some paint, so any mistakes are going to be hidden down the road a bit when you do the serious weathering. But you want a kind of a V shape so that it can fit right on the top. And what I'm going to do is another, again, quite simple, but I'm going to do a little different after I get this creased out some so that it will fold onto the building a little easier. And we check and make sure that it's going to be just big enough, and it obviously is. So now I'm going to take the glue, and I'm actually going to run a bead on the inside of the piece that we just folded. And it doesn't take much, because you're going to be squeezing this out for it to adhere to the other pieces anyway. So now I've got the glue on the inside, and I take it and I place it on the top and I press it down, and then take a little bit of Elmer's glue for the top. And again, just like the other pieces, just use your finger, spread it along. And then we let this dry. For a few hours. And we'll come back and do some weathering. And if it comes up a little bit, it's not going to be an issue, because you can go back with a little bit of super glue and just touch inside whatever it raises up. But we want to let this dry so that you can trim it a lot easier, because you can see there's quite a bit of glue. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's glue seeping out, and you want to let that get good and dry. Number one, for weathering, because you don't want to get the glue on the paintbrush. And it makes it a whole lot easier to trim after the glue is dry. So we're going to set this off. We're going to let it dry. And I'll get some pictures of this and post it in a little slideshow at the end of this. So hope you enjoyed this. And once again, thanks for watching.